Primo Thursday night football matchup. Green Bay Packers roll in, having won 7 of their last 8.
Fake to Jacobs. It's Reed. First down. Reed. Touchdown for the second time.
Their one loss to Detroit. It's rematch time. Lions fans have their hands up, have their hands down, want to know what you gonna do now.
They fake it to him. They're going up top. It's right there. What a play. Laporta for the second time in the game.
Keep rolling, right? They've won 10 in a row. So good now, opposing coaches don't even bother trying to beat them. Hey, Detroit's defense is pretty scary. Let's start the convo with that D for once. Don't really hear them get a lot of credit for being the number 3 scoring unit in the NFL. Held Chicago to 20 points, have held 5 of their last 6 opponents under 21.
Not every day you see a defense rush 1.
Perfect technique there. Well, they're just so situationally aware.
Perfect.
Week 9, for example, when the Lions beat the Packers, they held Green Bay to 14 points. No touchdowns allowed to Jordan Love, picked him off, held him to a sub-70 rate.
Now rolling out for the first time, and he throws an interception. It's picked off all the way down, and scoring for the Lions. It's Joseph.
They didn't sack him once either. Since then, traded for Z. Smith a bag and a half last week. Detroit's pass rush with 5 sacks. DJ Reader with 2.
And they take down Williams for their first sack of the game.
Love didn't take a single sack versus Miami. Last 5 games has only taken more than 1 in 1 game.
And Love reading it out, fired with a flag down, Christian Watson.
Since his sub-70 rate game versus Detroit, Love's put up 3 straight 100-plus rate games. Last week versus Miami, 21 of 28, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Love, touchdown Reed. Jaden Reed connects and leaps.
Lions secondary Love faces this week. Top shelf in 2024, elite numbers. Their corners are beat up, though. Showed up in the second half of the game versus Chicago. Almost let it get away from them. Gave up 3 touchdowns, a rating near 100 to Caleb Williams. Never picked him off.
Now looking to the right side. Finds him. It's Keenan Allen for the second time.
In their Week 9 matchup, Jaden Reed went for 100-plus yards. Hasn't had more than 30 yards in a game since, but he scored twice versus Miami.
We talked about the run after catch by this guy right here, Jaden Reed. He is electric with the ball in his hand.
The big yards guy from their Week 13 win, tight end Tucker Kraft, 78, first time over 35 since Week 8.
Jumping on 33 again. It's Kraft. He catches it. And Tucker Kraft goes to the 41-yard line.
Christian Watson, 37 versus the Lions, 67 last week.
And Love reading it out. Fired with a flag down, Christian Watson.
Dontavian Wicks chipped in 30 yards versus the Dolphins. Josh Jacobs, a robust 74 receiving yards. Someone picked up Tyrell Dodson's jockstrap, right? I'm sure someone got it.
Look at that, the right foot in the ground and north and south. This is a big, strong inside runner out in space, giving you a little bit of an aha.
Jacobs didn't do so much juking on the ground, just 43 yards a week ago, just 2.3 yards per run, but he punched one in.
Second and goal. Jacobs, touchdown Green Bay.
Green Bay's rush attack got a lot of good runs last week from other guys too, so their ground game doesn't come in cold. And the Lions struggled with Jacobs, didn't have to face many of his runs, but gave up 7.3 a carry, 95 yards on his 13 attempts. Won't help that they lost linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez either. But Detroit held DeAndre Swift to 3.5 an attempt, just 39 rush yards. They're holding running backs to 4 a try for the year. That's good stuff.
Swift, and that was never going to work out.
Stopping the run, a key for both defenses, of course. Running it, a key for both offenses. They're both top 5 in rushing yards per game. Detroit used to putting up over 150 per. It was a key to their win over Green Bay. Sonic and Knuckles both went for 60-plus yards each, 4.9 yard average.
Here is Gibbs. First down and more. Gibbs in for the touchdown.
David Montgomery last week, 88 yards, 36 through the air.
And they convert again. It's there for Montgomery. And again, they are moving the chains.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 87 rushing yards on just 9 attempts versus Chicago, 9.7 per, 65-plus rush yards, 9 of his last 11 games, averaging 6 a run for the year.
Gibbs finds a little crease and takes advantage. All the way down to the 31.
Packers' run defense he takes on versus running backs this season, sitting at 4.4 a run allowed, average as it gets, but they brought it down to that after holding Miami's run game to 39 yards in their win, just 2.8 a carry.
It's a run inside. Not going to go anywhere, maybe even lose a yard there.
G.I. Joe knows that's just half the battle. Then there's Jared Goff and company. Goff went 18 for 22 versus Green Bay, a touchdown. Only 145 yards versus 220 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, 100 plus rate, 2 plus TDs in 8 of his last 10.
It's right there.
What a play.
Laporta for the second time in the game has a touchdown.
Green Bay secondary still missing Jair Alexander last week. On paper, they gave up 360 plus yards to Tua, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a rating near 115, gave up 50 yards to Waddle, over 50 to Devon Achane, 80 plus to Tyreek, and 110 plus to Jonnu Smith.
Excellent fundamentals, keeping his feet up underneath him and delivering a strike, a big 4th down conversion for the Dolphins.
All of that, and it still never felt like there was a problem. In the end, Detroit's juggernaut offense faces a Green Bay D top 10 in points per game allowed, held Miami's high-powered O to 17.
4th and goal from the 1. Tua faking. Ingram fell. Tua sacked.
Now they squabble up with some familiar dudes. They had trouble with Jonnu. This week it's Sam Laporta at tight end. Only 6 yards made him count, 2 touchdowns.
Fake the pitch, get everyone displaced in the middle of the field. So much to handle on defense.
Jamison Williams, 28 yards, didn't face them the first time around. Tim Patrick has been prominent their last 2 games, 48 plus yards back to back.
And it's Patrick slipping through 2 tackles and finally brought down at the 30.
ARSB, St. Brown, 73 yards last week, has been good for 60 plus 4 straight games.
Here's Goff looking for a target. He finds St. Brown.
End of the day, Packers defense is stacked against an offense putting up over 31 a game. This is Green Bay's last shot to track Detroit down. Lions have taken Green Bay 5 of their last 6 meetings. Comment section is yours. Complete the preview with your predictions and analysis. Panel of 10, take it home.